everyone, welcome to the Demons from Outer Space. I am Sid Part 2, and joining me, as always, is the magnanimous Deadpoolzilla.
Hello, pitiful
Hi,
humans.
Deadpoolzilla. What are we here to do today? Well, I'd tell you, but first I'm going to go on for about half an hour about something completely unrelated.
You mean your girlfriend?
The Demons from Outer Space. So the other day, I'm in the mall, and I'm looking at some clothes in the mall, and, you know, I rarely go to the mall, because there's this whole thing when I was a kid that I'm not going to tell you about, except maybe later to distract from another story, and I was thinking about this today because of a movie that I watched, and, shit, what was I talking about?
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Hey Bill, hey Dylan.
What? Dylan, what the fuck were we doing in the closet? And why were you touching me there, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you?
What?
Listen, what the fuck is going on here, Ian?
I'm stealing your show. You haven't been on Kiki Gentleman in weeks, so I decided to steal your show. And
well, you know what,
just
Ian?
Here.
You're doing a really, really shitty job.
Oh, no, I'm doing a really good Bill impression is what I'm doing.
No, what's going on right now is you're not doing anything, is what's going on.
The problem is you're staying on one topic too long before you meander.
Yeah, you have to...
Bad.
See,
listen,
we
the
have
whole
we have
thing-
it down to a refined science.
Yes, exactly. We have a formula, and you're just messing with the formula right now. And you know what I have to say? Back to formula. Hello, everyone. I am Zazubaar, the actual host of the Demons from Outer Space, and this is a very special episode. Joining me, as always, Dylan McCandless, a.k.a. Super DM64.
Hi.
And as they've already commandeered and forced themselves on you like a really shitty rapist, we have
As opposed
now.
as opposed to like a really decent rapist.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
don't you know?
there's
Bill,
an artist.
Yeah, there's like a rating system for a rape victim.
There's an artistry to it, and they completely botched it up. It's like they missed, they ripped the pants. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
They left too much evidence.
Yeah, the
You
police
no
leave
longer you no longer just file.
Bad at raping people or things.
But if you're gonna rape somebody, at least do it well. You know, you don't be half-hearted about it. If you're gonna do something, do it with passion, Ian.
See,
Exactly, I
now
mean,
if
like-
you're raped, you don't just file a police report. You also deliver a critique.
You also give like a little star graph, like, okay, I give this guy a 3 out of 5. And then they email it to said rapist before they arrest him. And while he's in jail, he's like, I didn't put my in her mouth.
It's like, I really appreciate this feedback. And you're like, yeah, you know, I've had other rapes, honestly.
This is why we only have teenage white people listening to our show. This is the embodiment of why. But you're probably wondering, oh, Deadpoolzilla is also here as again he forced himself on you earlier. Say hi, Deadpoolzilla.
Hi again.
So, why the fuck did Dylan and I feel the need to bring on Ian and Deadpoolzilla? Well, the reason is quite clear. We are...
You're getting bored of them.
Yes, exactly. No, the reason why I decided to bring them on this week onto the Demons from Outer Space is because, as I said in my non-spoiler review of the first episode of Series 8 of Doctor Who, Deep Breath, we are going to get into our spoiler thoughts on that episode, which is what we like to do when the new Doctor Who thing comes out. We did it with Time, we did it with other stuff. So that is what we were going to do with Deep Breath, or as I like to call it, Shallow Cough. That's what I like to call the episode, because that just makes more sense. So I brought them on because there were two other big Whovians, and they joined us when we reviewed Day of the Doctor, so that is why Ian and Deadpoolzilla are here.
I'm not going to ask you to explain why Shallow Cough makes more sense, but please explain why Shallow Cough makes more sense.
Well, you see, it takes place... Never mind, don't worry about it. You know, you want to know why I decided to make that joke? Because I couldn't really think of a way to introduce it that would be natural. But I really want that...
decided to go for something completely unnatural and not funny?
Well, I want that to be the episode title.
That's just the formula.
Yeah, exactly. That's just how we roll here. No, I'd like that to be the episode title. So I decided to force it in right there at the beginning, so that way everybody would know. Which is actually not how I felt about how the title of this episode referred to the plot of this episode. You see that little segue I did there? So let's not waste any time like we did with the Zubumafu episode, and let's just dive right in. So I'm going to start with you, Dylan, because I already did my full review on this a couple days ago. So I just want to start with you because I'm interested. We haven't really talked about this. So what were your thoughts on Peter Capaldi, not Peter Capaldi, as the 12th Doctor, and what were your just thoughts overall compared to the stuff that's come out recently and Matt Smith's run, and what were your thoughts, bro?
Well, he certainly wasn't what I expected, in a good way. I think everybody expects him to be, and he is darker, but he's not as dark as I think people were expecting. But I thought he turned in a marvelous performance. I think the episode overall does a great job of introducing us to him and who he is as the Doctor. And that's really what the episode is about, because honestly, I wasn't wowed by the plot. But in terms of introducing us to the new Doctor, it does exactly what it sets out to do very well, I think. And I think this is a good starting point for the series. I'm interested to see where they're going to go from here, and I really want to know what's going to be going on in terms of the overarching plot of the season, because there's just all kinds of confusion going on in this first episode.
Especially with the last 10 minutes. Like, it's a fairly straightforward episode in terms of the story. It's pretty simple. Again, it's a sequel to something, and we'll get into spoilers in a second, so you kind of know where everything's going to go and why. So it's kind of a straightforward story until you get to the fucking end, where it's like, why? Why is this a thing? Why you do this, Doctor Who? Because Moffat. Ian, what were your thoughts? I haven't talked to you about this at all.
Yeah, I know.
Because I haven't talked to you in like 3 months. So.
I know. I fucking want to kick your ass.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you love me, man.
No, I don't love you because you haven't talked to me in 3 months. So anyway,
Ian, tell me your thoughts, bro.
All right. So here's the thing. Capaldi is awesome. I love him as the Doctor once he really starts being the Doctor, not crazy, whacked out Scottish guy.
Which he is for a good portion of the episode.
So in other words, he was just being Craig Ferguson.
Yeah. It's
in a way.
It's really cool to see him. It's really cool to see him go crazy and be super intelligent. But once he starts being the Doctor, it's really cool too. But I really, really did enjoy this episode the first time, and I enjoyed a lot of things about it the first time. And then on the second viewing, I came to this conclusion. It's still a good episode. Capaldi is great. Clara, really cool. I think that Stephen Moffat is a better writer than Russell T Davies, but I think Russell T Davies is a much more versatile writer. Because this, if more than anything else, has sequel-itis.
Hang on, who's got the music planned?
Not me. I mean, this more than any other episode of Doctor Who that Moffat has written has sequel-itis. And it's doing sequels to things I like.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear your thoughts on, because you love the episode that this is a sequel to.
I do, and that's something I really like about it. But at the same time, it's the same thing. It's not doing what a sequel should do, which is improving upon the original or continuing the story of the original. You know, if you wanted to do a sequel to Girl in the Fireplace, you should have had Capaldi meet up with Madame de la Pompadour again, because that was the super interesting part of that. The robots using human parts was interesting, but not as interesting as the other thing that was going on.
I mean, she's dead, but, you know.
Well, no, but he doesn't remember anything now.
Hey, baby, you are one good-looking corpse.
Maybe
no, but she doesn't remember anything, so it would totally work. Or he doesn't remember anything, so
maybe
totally
she's not dead anymore, Bill. Remember, nothing that happened before the cracks is necessarily in continuity anymore.
Oh, I guess. Well, I'll say this. I didn't even think that they were doing this, because I've only seen this one time. I can't find it anywhere, so I haven't been able to see it again. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. But when I watched it the first time, I kind of, when I first saw, like, what the villain was, I was like, it looks kind of like the, it looks kind of like the clockwork robots from Girl in the Fireplace, but I mean, Stephen Moffat likes to make so few references to the Russell T. Davies run, even to his own stuff, though he does more with the stuff that he wrote, like River and everything. I thought that that's not what it was at all. But when the Doctor started saying, I've seen this before, I was like, maybe? But then I was like, well, maybe there was something in Classic Who that I haven't seen that was like this, and that's what he's referring to. But then they fucking just come out and say it when they're like, oh, the sister ship to the Madame de Pompadour, and I was like, oh, it is a sequel to Girl in the Fireplace. But that I think is the ultimate problem with it, is that because it draws attention to that, you then think about what that episode was doing, and it's really not that great plot-wise, you know what I mean? Because it's just kind of like, alright, so the aliens are trying to do the exact same thing, the Doctor tells them why it's a stupid idea. I mean, what it has over Girl in the Fireplace is it has an actual villain with a face that's more interesting. Which Girl in the Fireplace doesn't really have.
It doesn't need it, though.
Because the main thing is, you know, obviously Madame de Pompadour and the Doctor's relationship and how it kind of grows for years for her, but for, you know, only seconds for him. And in here, I guess I should just talk about my general thoughts on the episode.
Yeah, go ahead. You're up, so go ahead.
Like I said, Capaldi has already got me sold on one episode. This is a mediocre episode, though. I mean, I feel like this should not have been 80 minutes long.
I completely agree. Yeah,
it is over long. Yeah,
totally unnecessary.
And the other thing that made me just go really was that they just stuck, like, there are obvious scenes in here that made me go, why was this here? But, you know, Clara is growing on me more, especially in here. I think the stuff they did with Clara is really good.
I love that, yeah.
The Clockwork Robots, again, are not a great villain. I think my favorite opening for a new Doctor is still the 11th Hour.
Mine as well, because it's just so economical and packed with stuff. This one is very...
It feels like another episode.
Very bloated.
It feels like another episode, like how the Christmas Invasion is.
Yeah, that's the thing I said in my non-spoiler review, is that it feels like it's supposed to be some kind of Christmas special or something, both with the length, but also, it really... Here's what I like about it. Now, we were talking about how earlier with Girl in the Fireplace, what works about that episode is not necessarily the villain plot. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but what makes that episode so good is the relationship between the 10th Doctor and Madame de Pompadour. And this one kind of has a similar saving grace where it has the novelty of this being the reintroduction of the Doctor in this new form. He just had, I mean, it's the beginning of a new regeneration cycle. We've got this whole mystery of, I've seen this face before, why? And there's a couple of great scenes with that, but the problem is that once all of that is out of the way and it comes down to, alright, what is the story about, it kind of just feels meh. Also, did they ever, since I've only seen this one time, let me ask you guys, did they ever explain if the Clockwork aliens somehow forced the TARDIS to get swallowed by a dinosaur so it could be brought to them?
No, they didn't.
It happens completely by accident.
No, they're opportunistic, Bill. They see a dinosaur and they think, ooh, we can use that.
Also, Dylan, they never say it's a T-Rex, so blow me.
It's pretty clearly a T-Rex.
I've heard people say Albertosaurus. So.
Really? Wait.
Albertosaurus. Though,
okay, my thing
Bill,
is that
saying Albertosaurus to yourself does not count.
It's an Albertosaurus.
Look, it's clearly a Giganotosaurus.
It's not a T-Rex. I refuse to. It's Gorgo.
Fucking T-Rex.
It is not Gorgo.
It's either.
Come on, why can't it be Gorgo?
There are so many reasons it can't be Gorgo.
But can't it be like a rebooted version of Gorgo?
No. If that's the Gorgo design, this is like
Bill.
the 98 of Gorgo. Okay.
Can't it be that though? Like the Godzilla 98 of Gorgo.
Bill,
do you want it to be that?
Yes.
Bill, it's
what?
It's clearly the CGI reboot of Guanjay.
Yes, that's what it is. That is exactly what it is. No, I love what they do with the dinosaur, even though it's completely superfluous.
It's a great way to open a fucking episode, though.
It's fantastic, and all the stuff with the like, again, I wrote this on Facebook, and I said this to you guys before we started. I love the whole thing of, like, the 12th Doctor is fucking flirting with a dinosaur. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
And I love the parallel, but one thing that this episode does really well in terms of its plot, and it doesn't do it, and you should kind of always do this in a Doctor Who story, is the alien sci-fi plot should always be there to parallel or tell us something about the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do in this episode, and they do that fairly well. I love all the stuff about, there's a line towards the end where 12 is talking to the clockwork robot, and he says, you've changed your form and body so many times, none of what was originally there is left.
Yeah, and he holds up that plate and he says, or like platter or whatever it is, and he says, "Look at that face. Do you even know where that you got that face from anymore?" And he sees himself as he says.
That is my favorite scene in the entire episode.
It was really good.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting that he takes that stance in this episode because it's kind of the direct opposite of his final speech as Matt Smith right before he regenerated, where he goes on to think about how I'm changing, but that's okay because I'm still because everybody changes, but you're still the same person, blah blah blah. And then in this episode, it's like I'm not the same person anymore.
Well, I think part of it'll be. Well, I think maybe what the Doctor's season arc might be is thinking that he's not the same person anymore. And then rediscovering that there's still parts of him that are still that very flamboyant, fun-loving character that he's been for the past couple seasons.
Can I jump in real quick before we get away from this scene?
Yeah.
All right, so the Doctor, I like the scene, but as someone that knows logic, there's this thing about...
What are you saying, Ian?
Well, no. I'm talking about, actual A equals B style logic here. All right, so... Follow me. He gives the speech to the robot cyborg guy about how if you have a broom and you replace the handle and you replace the brush, is it still a broom? And the guy's like, yeah. But he's making the argument that the guy has replaced so many different parts of himself that he's no longer a robot, and so he should follow his programming. And I'm like, what? Those two arguments do not line up. You need a different example, Doctor.
My problem with it was more like, I love the idea of the reverse cyborg thing, where usually it's a human becoming a robot, but in this case it's a robot becoming a human. I thought that was kind of cool. Not that it's never been done. I mean, Bicentennial Man is about that, but I still like that idea. It's never really been done in Doctor Who. At least as far as I remember. Maybe it's been done sometime before that I'm just not remembering. But overall, I just thought that there were some, also, how the fuck did they light the dinosaur on fire? Did they just pour gasoline on it? Nobody noticed?
Actually, let me bring this up. They never explain the spontaneous combustion. They never explain it.
Well, the guy has a flamethrower for an arm.
Yeah, but how do you...
That's about all the explanation we get.
Yeah,
Did he literally dump gasoline all over the dinosaur? And how did the dinosaur not notice and be like, hey, stop it, that's really mean?
You know the part that I like, though, is when the Doctor makes that whole speech about how he'll get the dinosaur back home, and it lights on fire. He's like, no, don't do that.
Yes!
I've got control over it.
Stop lighting yourself on fire.
And then, I love the following when he falls down the tree, and he's like, I need to borrow your pet. And he's like, what? I'm talking to the horse, idiot.
Alright, I brought this up in my non-spoiler review, and I want to see if you guys agree. Do you guys think there are some sequences in this episode that are really poorly shot?
Yeah.
That was one of them. There are some moments towards the beginning. There's one moment, this is such a nitpick, but it bugged the shit out of me, where they do this fucking dead-on, no-angle shot of the Doctor, basically looking at the camera, and I was like, oh god, you never do that when you're filming something that's not supposed to be breaking the fourth wall.
Are you talking about just looking at Clara and Strax?
And Strax, yeah. And
I think
do this
that to make it feel really uncomfortable, though.
But it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels like it takes me completely out of what's going on.
Fair enough.
Which I guess is kind of uncomfortable, but it's just... I pointed to another movie that does that in, that is bad. Beverly Hills Cop 3 does that all over the place. And it suffers a lot for it. But there were a couple sequences like that, and a lot of it is they're trying to get around... we can't literally throw Peter Capaldi down a tree. He's in his mid-50s. Though maybe he'd just yell at the tree so much that it would say sorry and he wouldn't get hurt.
The tree would literally bend over and pick him up.
Yes. But I know that we can't do that, but it looked really awkward, and it was kind of hard to tell.
Bill.
What?
This is an inside joke between you and me.
Oh,
Capaldi
God.
will just be like, "Gets ready for it, laddie." No?
Oh, God.
Like, I was really disappointed that Peter Capaldi didn't used a sonic screwdriver, not just his penis.
His sonic cock.
This makes us sound too.
Were you guys glad that he kept the Scottish accent? Because, David Tennant is also Scottish, and he put on a British accent.
Yeah.
I thought it added a lot to his performance.
And I love
that fact that he was, so happy that he gets to be mad and complain about things.
Oh, that was great.
I don't know.
Now I can be real when I complain about things.
And then he's looking at the newspapers like, "What's it mean, sir?" I don't know, but I blame the English.
I just adored his performance. Now he gets to be a little bit of the of the kind of, because the one thing that struck me, and Dylan, you were getting into this a little bit earlier with, he's not nearly as dark as a lot of people were making him out to be. He gets close. Maybe based on the clip I saw of Into the Dalek, it looks like he may get more towards that thing.
Yeah.
But in this episode, especially in his first couple scenes where he's having memory issues, he's a flamboyant, over the top, clown, basically.
If anything, he reminds me of Tom Baker.
I completely agree. And Pertwee, I was actually reminded, in terms of how dark he is, I thought of Hartnell and I thought of Eccleston.
Yeah, he's actually, if anything, he feels more like, in later performances, like in the episode, I was like, yeah, that he does feel like Pertwee mixed with Eccleston. Yeah.
And a lot of his facial expressions, again, really reminded me of Hartnell. And it might just be the age thing, but a lot of the way he looks at people, it's like, that's something Hartnell would do, with the big eyebrows and the very wrinkly face.
Yeah, and the scowl.
Oh. Absolutely. The one thing I want to get into a little bit is, so let's just get into the stuff that we wouldn't be able to talk without spoilers. So what do you guys want to get into that's just really super spoilery? So if you haven't seen the episode yet, don't go any further.
We've kind of already crossed that line. I'm sorry.
I know, but super, there's one. Okay, I'm going to cross the line even further. I'm going to get into the biggest spoiler thing about the episode. 11 calling Clara and telling her everything's going to be okay. I was fangirling over that. I was screaming with joy. I thought that was great.
That got spoiled for me.
Yeah.
It was spoiled for me, too.
That got spoiled for me because some fucking jackass in class last semester while I was working on the Godzilla's a Terrible Roommate thing was like, "Hey, did you hear Matt Smith's going to be in the first episode of Capaldi's?" I'm like, fuck you! Why? He knew my stance on spoiler things, and he just comes up and tells me, I'm like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's pretty dickish.
That would have been such a good surprise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was.
Oh, it wasn't spoiled for you?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, that's good.
My thing with it was, it was a good, because I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how. I thought it was going to be some kind of, a monologue from Matt Smith. I thought that's all it was going to be, a little audio monologue. I didn't know that he was actually going to show up. And the fact that they had that little scene from the Trenzalore, Time of the Doctor, with the phone hanging out of the TARDIS and Clara putting it back, how they connected that with the Doctor's call.
Mm-hmm. That was really clever.
Yeah,
I like that a lot, too.
And I love that line where he says, however scared you are, that man you're with is 100 times more scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well.
It's almost like Matt Smith telling everyone, not just Clara, but the whole audience, you're going to like him. It's going to be okay.
Well, here's the thing that, I really picked up on, and this is a thing Bill and I both talked about, and I don't want to sound sexist when I say this, but it seemed like a lot of the fans of Doctor Who that have jumped on with the new Who series, and I'm not trying to sound superior, I'm one of them.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of them are women who are sexually attracted to Matt Smith and David Tennant. There's
Absolutely.
so much out there just about the fact that those two doctors are, hot with an H-A-W-T. And so
with an E at the end.
Bill and I were really excited for Capaldi, because, like, yeah, let's see an old Doctor again. That'll be really interesting. But at the same time, like, marketing-wise, it's a terrible idea because all the people that are watching it for the, like, sexual attraction angle are going to tune out. And this
that's
really,
probably a good thing.
Yeah, well, maybe, but still, like, not from a financial standpoint.
Well, yeah, it's good for us fans because it'll kind of thin the herd a little bit of, like, who is a real Whovian and who isn't. You guys see what I did there. It's not, well, listen, look at this. Look how pumped up, well advertised everywhere this first episode was. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere on the internet without seeing it advertised.
I could.
It was everywhere. And I saw Riff Tracks Live Godzilla 98 last week, and there's a fucking poster for it out in the lobby.
Cool.
Yeah, because they were doing a one-night... Even this was happening at my theater, too, where they had that whole one-night premiere thing.
Yeah.
And that... Did you guys know they did that two-part Series 2 Cyberman story as a whole movie?
Yeah, the one that I don't even like. They're like, yeah, let's put that in theater.
Really? You couldn't have done the two-part Dalek story from Series 1 with Eccleston? That two-part finale? That's movie-worthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a weird choice. I mean, also, it's like, okay, I get why they had to do something with David Tennant because they were celebrating him. But it's like, oh yeah, there aren't any better David Tennant episodes to put in theaters?
Yeah, why couldn't you pick Only Human?
I just thought it was bizarre.
I just want to get back to this thing, though. So, like, it's amazing, though, how many... There's, like, not just one scene or one line. The entire episode is devoted to, if you really care about the Doctor, you won't care that he has a new face and that he's...
That is the central theme.
Like, you know...
With Clara.
What's... Madame Vastra, or whatever her name is, Lizard Bitch.
Yeah.
She brings...
Lizard Bitch.
Yeah. She brings it up. Fucking, the Doctor brings it up several times. New Doctor brings it up several times. 11 brings it up once. I mean, it's just... All of it is around that, like, idea of he's new and he's not young. And you have to...
That's the thing. Well, you have to understand, Ian, that this was a big gamble that Moffat and the rest of BBC played because they were... Even Capaldi said that he never thought he would ever be the Doctor because they were always going for a younger audience. He never thought that they would go for an older actor, so they really had to... I think it was okay that they hit home that this was an older Doctor.
I think so, too. I was just really impressed with how they handled it.
Thank God they did it, though, because I think that it really showed that they're putting a lot of care and thought into it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just a haphazard, let's just make him old and see what happens. They really took the care to address the fact that, there are people who watch the show who may not be familiar with the fact that the Doctor is actually really old. So let's make it part of the story. And I also thought it was cool that they did that because in Time of the Doctor, Clara actually, says at one point, I travel with him because I kind of fancy him. And so I thought I liked that they brought that up because that was something that was in Time of the Doctor that they had to get into.
Yeah. And the other thing you have to look at, a classic Doctor who, they were never really, like, attractive at all. They were just actors who did their thing. The only two you could say were attractive were Davison and McGann.
Yeah. I absolutely. And I mean, and that whole sexualization thing never even came into play really until New Who.
Yeah, exactly.
Until that scene where, and not even so much in season 1, in terms of the Doctor and the companions.
It wasn't even until Tennant.
It wasn't until Tennant and Rose where that became a thing.
Yeah.
And the more you watch that, the creepier it gets, by the way. I went back and watched some Season 2 stuff, and I was like, wow, this is kind of creepy.
No, it gets creepier when you watch The Doctor's Daughter and think to yourself, the actress who's playing the Doctor's daughter is now Tennant's wife and is the daughter of Peter Davison.
That is really weird. It is bizarre.
That's why I think there are only like 5 actors at the BBC and just a really good makeup department.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the Doctor actors, his blackface on is a problem.
Dylan, you've been quiet. Why don't you bring something up that you want us to get into?
I mean, I think you guys have really been hitting all the main points. Are you guys getting a little tired of... I mean, I like the characters, but I think they're being overused at this point. Are you getting tired of Vastra and them? I mean, honestly. It seems like every time Moffat turns around, he's doing another Vastra story, and I don't know.
They are really popular, to be fair, and I mean, I can watch Strax all fucking day. But
Jenny is the one where I'm like,
Well, here,
for
look,
me,
just-
let me just get this out real quick. For me, I just kind of have like an inbred ambivalence to them, all because of the episode "Good Man Goes to War" being the first time they ever showed up, and that just like their existence pisses me off.
oh yeah,
on a
yeah,
fundamental level.
yeah.
Because that's their first episode. Otherwise, they're really...
But they're like, oh, the Doctor has known them for years. It's like, no, this is the first time we've met them.
Okay.
What the fuck are you doing?
Here's my...
Let me ask you guys this.
Okay.
Do you remember that... just because this is the Demons from Outer Space, you don't care about keeping on track. Do you remember the Centauran from that episode? Was that Strax?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't...
Yeah.
Well, it was a clone... Remember, the Centaurans are a clone race, so...
But you know what I mean. Was that specifically the character of Strax?
I believe so because it was a nurse, and Strax has been shown to have medical knowledge.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and rewatch that because I
yeah,
want to see if
he does die, but they mention that he got brought back to life.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Because I was like, well, okay, well, now we have this other Centauran character who's doing the exact same thing as that guy. So I thought, is this the same guy? Because they didn't start becoming regulars until the Snowmen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since then,
I don't know if I'm getting sick of them. Ian, you and I have talked about this before. We talk about, Moffat just keeps trying to, like, he almost seems to be subtly trying to get everybody to want to see them in a spinoff. And you know what? I think that I'm getting.
Apparently, it's working because the other day, Andres told me that he wants a faster spinoff.
I could see that. I would watch that. I like them a lot. I'm not sure. Here's the problem. I don't know how much you could do with it that wouldn't just be Torchwood 2.0, regardless of when it's set. You know what I'm saying? That's my... Because, listen, if you're going to do it, it would have to be more like Torchwood and be more adult because you've got lesbian protagonists, and that's a big part of their characters. So I imagine that they would do that. I would be more than okay with that. But Deadpoolzilla, you've been trying to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I've just been like, could I...
No, go ahead. Get it out there. Spit it out, bro.
Okay, so here's my thing. First off, that I do like the idea of Jenny Bastian Strax as a spin-off, but here's the thing in this episode. It bugs me that they hit you over the head that, oh, look, we're progressive. We have a gay couple. We actually have they actually kiss. Kind of.
Yeah.
And they really, it's like, you can almost hear in the background of Moffat going, I am progressive. I am progressive. and
I want to see a video now of somebody dressed up like Stephen Moffat doing that.
He doesn't have a very
that'd be
particular
hysterical.
look, Bill, so it's just kind of easy to do.
I know. Well, exactly. So let's dress up Milan like Stephen Moffat and fucking do that.
Here's the other thing, though, is that it was cool to see them when they first showed up, because the Doctors made friends all through time and space, and it's cool to see, friends we've never met before, because we didn't even know the Doctor was friends with Winston Churchill or a few other people throughout, because, again, he's traveled around all through time and space. He's bound to make friends all different people, and...
Fair enough.
And that's not my problem. My problem is that they say the Doctor's bringing in all of his allies, and we don't see any of the really important characters from Davies' run that seem to be some of his biggest allies.
yeah, I think a man who can't die would have been really useful in that battle situation.
Yeah, right?
And it was Stephen Moffat story that brought in Captain Jack.
Yeah,
that was my point. Was like, we were talking about, does he not like Captain Jack? But I was like, no, he was the one who introduced him.
I mean, it sort of became Davies' thing later with the Torchwood thing and everything, but yeah, I mean,
I'm sure he created the character, but I doubt. But Moffat was the one who first wrote him.
Yeah, and I think at this point, I think we should get a spinoff. But here's the thing: if you're going to do that, Moffat or whoever takes control of the spinoff, you've got to give these people more character to them, because it's literally every time they show up, it's the same characters over and over again. And it does every time going back to Victorian London to hang out with Strax, Jenny, and Vastra, it feels like the universe is getting smaller. Like, there are other people the Doctor can go to, right?
Right? That's the weird thing, is that he seems to... Also, there's been so much Victorian London stuff in these past few seasons. It's like World War II stuff. It's like we keep going back to World War II. It's like eventually the Doctor is going to just keep running into himself because he keeps interacting in World War II. Like, I remember I was talking to one of you guys about the Daleks, a Victory of the Daleks, when when they're there the night of the Blitz. I was like, well, it's funny to think that somewhere off there in London, the Ninth Doctor is saving people from nanites.
No, Bill, the Blitz wasn't just one night.
No, it was a prolonged thing.
Right, but he's off somewhere doing that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's like,
but maybe
we're talking
not.
about years.
Not the
But it's so close. But you guys get my point, right? Like, it's so... It feels like we keep going back to the same...
You said this before, and I need to make sure you understand that the Blitz wasn't just the one time.
I know, but it's still weird.
It would be great, though, if they, like, bumped into each other.
Yeah, just like, hey.
If you could ever get Chris Eccleston back for one thing, I'm sure he'd do it for...
Yeah, that's the thing everybody would want, is that
him
scene.
bumping into Matt Smith, who's not even the Doctor anymore.
Yeah, you bring Matt Smith and Christopher Eccleston back just to do that one gag.
The deleted scene where Smith is on his way to fight the Daleks and he's on his way to fight the gas masks, and they bump into each other, and it's like, oh, you've got stuff going on.
They drop their sonic screwdrivers and pick up the wrong ones, and that'd be kind of a cool story, wouldn't it? If they bump into each other and pick up the wrong sonic screwdrivers, and that fucks with time.
That'd be a really fun way to do a crossover. But like, the thing is, we've built it up so much, I don't think we're ever just going to have a regular episode that has a crossover anymore. Like the two Doctors with Colin Baker and Troughton. I don't think we'll ever have that. I think it's always got to be a big event now.
It's going to be in theaters.
Tell that to when Tennant met Davison in that little special.
Yeah, but that was like a special little...
That was for a charity
episode now. I don't think that'll ever happen.
But it's also Doctor Who has gotten so big that it can't be that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they did it a little bit in Season 7 towards the end where you had, like, I mean, of course, it was all, like, stock footage, but, you know, they had the name of the Doctor thing where you saw, like, the different Doctors, like, running around. So, I mean, I like stuff like that. I like those little nods. I want to see more classic villains brought in. That's what I want. And they've done that a little bit with what's been going on. I mean, of course, we had the Ice Warriors.
I think you should probably do 2 classic villains per season.
Well, here's my thing, is that I didn't expect Moffat to bring back a classic villain all the way back in the Snowmen, because that was the Great Intelligence. We haven't seen that since Troughton's run.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And,
very, very true.
And
then turned it into the villain for Season 7, pretty much.
Exactly. And I think the next villains I'd like to see are the Pteroleptrals. Davison-era villain that look like giant caterpillars.
Okay.
And I think if I was to pick another villain, I'd like to see the Rootans.
Oh, okay.
The enemies of the Centaurans.
Right. Yeah. I want to see Sutekh. That's what I want. I know he's dead. I don't care.
Bill, an episode's called Mummy on the Orient Express.
In Season 8?
Yeah.
Oh, they better do it.
They better do something with the Osirans.
Yes, even if it's not Sutekh, at least bring in the... I mean, listen, if they do bring in Sutekh, I will love Stephen Moffat forever even more than I already do.
I want him and I want Omega. I want both of them. Put them in the same story. That'd be badass.
Omega versus Sutekh. Can you fucking imagine that? The universe would die.
I think I want... it's going to sound weird. I want more stuff with the Centauran Empire. Because, like, we've had Strax and we've had, like, a Centauran pop up as, like, part of a larger group and stuff. We haven't had a Centauran Empire attack since their introduction into New Who again.
Yeah, you brought them back, and they tried to take over the world with, like, GPS, and now it's just been a joke ever since then. I mean,
they've tried to kill us with pollution, and it's like, that never works. Ask Hetera. That never works out well for you.
I would love to see another Centauran story. I'd even like to see the Vashta Nerada back.
Oh, yes. That'd be cool.
And,
I mean, they're kind of a one-note thing, though.
Well, you could have said the same thing about the Clockwork Robots, but look at Deep Breath.
Yeah, but one of our biggest complaints is that they're kind of doing the same thing all over again.
Well, it's not the villain that's the problem, though.
Yeah,
the only difference in the plot is that in Girl on the Fireplace, they were using human components to fix their ship. In this, they're upgrading themselves. That's about it.
The ship is also being fixed with spare parts.
No, they're doing both. They're turning themselves... I guess that is the difference, though, if you want to get nitpicky, is that
they added
this time they're not just doing the ship. They're doing themselves. Bum, bum!
That sounds awful.
It does.
But,
it sounds great.
I think
let me say this in terms of Deep Breath. I liked... Because one thing that has been kind of built up is that this doctor is going to be more unreliable in terms of always being there to save the companion. And there's a moment where they do that, kind of. Where the doctor literally just abandons Clara. And you're like, what a fucking douchebag. And of course he doesn't really. He's got a plan. But you don't know that, and neither does she.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his plan is, I'm going to go steal a face and hope she doesn't die in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. She still has to rely on her own wit in order to survive. And I loved that. I love that whole thing of, she literally just says to them, you won't kill me. And she has that little flashback to being a teacher. I loved all that.
That really should have been built in a different place in the episode, though.
Yeah, I gotta admit how like, awkward that was. Like, really, you're gonna have a flashback to when some scumbag student said do it when you told them you're gonna expel them all.
Do it.
Yeah, like I
do it.
like the flashback itself. It's just in the worst possible place.
That's what you're going to see
right
when you think
before
you're
it
about to
becomes
die
violent.
of oxygen deprivation. That's the last thing you see before you pass out is you
some asshole kid being like, fucking kick us out, yeah.
You don't have any like flashbacks to your childhood or anything. That's
Exactly.
what. Okay. I mean,
You don't kiss your ass goodbye, you just fucking think back to some dirtbag kid.
Yeah.
Was that dirtbag kid the girl she was babysitting last season? Because they look the same.
Oh, that's
I don't
racist.
that is very racist.
That's not racist.
Bill,
Bill,
you're racist.
Bill, that's my shtick.
That is, you know what I mean. That's not what I meant.
I will give credit to Clara.
They look like the same actress, and they sound the same too, because she's a fucking bitch to her in that season too. So I thought maybe it might have been the same girl.
Whatever.
I will not be called a racist on my own show.
Too late.
Anyway, what were you saying?
My thing was that I really loved Clara in here, and Clara was very hit and miss with me when they first introduced her, because I think they didn't know what to do with her. And here, they showed that she can be smart, she can still be funny. I love that scene between her and the doctor in the restaurant before they get kidnapped, and how they're both playing off of each other.
Oh, that was great. When he's calling her like egotistical and stuff.
Exactly, and then I love that opening shot where she looks over and sees the doctor having this look of, what?
Oh, when he's got the hobo clothes on?
Yeah, and
I love that the 12th Doctor is running around in homeless people clothes. Did he steal those? He must have stolen them.
No,
He
he traded
sold-
his watch.
And I was like,
Oh, that's right.
did he just give up his fob watch?
Did he get it back, though? Because he has another watch on at the end, or is that different?
I don't
think
know.
he has more than one. I mean,
he's a Time Lord, so I imagine he's got a couple.
Yeah, he's got it in a drawer somewhere.
I was watching Cracked, and they were doing like their parody of superhero stuff, and this guy like gets the ability to tell time, and he immediately takes off his watch and goes, "Do you think this will help me or confuse me?" Everyone's like, "I don't know." Really practical question when you think about it.
Actually,
Right?
I never thought about that. It's like, if you're going through time, does it really matter if you have a watch other than, it's cool apparel?
well, I imagine if you're a Time Lord, you would want to have plenty of watches, just because if you're a Time Lord and somebody asks you the time and you don't know it, that would be really embarrassing. Like,
Yeah, it's like, hey man, you're a Lord of Time. How do you not know what time it is?
It's time for you to shut up.
It depends on
People
the
are
time
just
zone.
on the street just giving the doctor shit. Just like, hey doctor, what time is it? I don't know. Stop doing this to me. Leave me alone.
Hey, doctor, what time is it? It's not adventure time. That's what it is.
I can tell you the year. Well, that's not going to help me any.
I gave my watch to a homeless person. Leave me alone. Well, based on what we saw in season 7, I assume that it updates depending on where he is, so it's like a smartwatch.
in the shape of a
Yes.
pocket watch.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Also,
exactly.
I love that scene where he's yelling at the homeless man, who the actor, like I told you guys earlier, was the husband to the late Elizabeth Slade, the actress who played Sarah Jane. How he's yelling about how his new face is, and he's like, "Oh, it's all good until you get to the eyebrows. You can take a bottle cap off with these."
I love how terrified that guy is the entire time.
Yeah, he's scared shitless, and I would be too, because Peter Capaldi is terrifying.
And I do love, I think we talked about this earlier in this thing, where it does feel like there's going to be some continuity of, the other characters Capaldi has played throughout the Doctor Who story, because he has been in Torchwood too.
Yeah, he played the villain in Torchwood.
No, not really.
No, he was a guy who committed suicide during Children of Earth.
And,
He was.
I mean, he was. I mean, no,
and
he's not really a villain.
And I'm curious to know if they're going to explore the origin of how regeneration works exactly in this season. Because
I've been hoping they do that for a while, actually. Like, I thought they might do it when, like, in the episode The Doctor's Daughter, I thought they might explain why she can't regenerate is because she can't, like, or why you... Hold on, let me back up. I always thought the reason that you can only have 13 lives is because there are only X number of people that you can come back as. And, like, whenever you come back, you have to, like, take someone else that's already lived. That's how I thought.
Like, steal their corpse?
Well,
yeah, basically.
Well, that's
terrifying.
Well, the thing is that the Time Lords set up that, they can't be all powerful and stuff, because the Time Lords themselves put on that number of only 12 to 13 regenerations.
Yeah, can't you just X that off if you like? Doesn't the Master have unlimited?
Well,
no,
not really. He keeps weaseling his way. Like the Time War, the Doctor. I mean, not the Doctor. The Time Lord High Council gave him a new regeneration cycle.
Right. Okay.
He just keeps finding new ways. He's like a snake monster or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a cockroach. You can't put him down.
Yeah, he's like a snake monster. What do Time Lords turn into snakes when they run out of regeneration?
Only if it's a stupidly written Fox special.
And then they possess Eric Roberts, which I was kind of upset that that's what was going on. When I found out that Eric Roberts played the Master, I was hoping that he was like legit playing the Master.
Yeah, now he's just some dude who the Master uses in his body.
Driver.
I don't know.
I always dress for the occasion.
Once he gets going, he's fun. I mean, when he comes out in the fucking like robe and shit, that was cool.
And
he looked mad weird though. He looks like a crazy drag queen.
He
looked like Nathan Lane in the Birdcage.
The only thing about the Doctor Who movie we could all like is Paul McGann.
Yeah, exactly. That and I do enjoy the scene where, I mean, even though it's a little weird, where he does regenerate and they do the parallel with Bride of Frankenstein and the resurrection of the monster.
Even though him busting out of the door makes no goddamn sense.
How the fuck does he do that? It would make sense in New Who because the regeneration is enough to, like, blow up Daleks, so that would make sense, but they hadn't done that at that point, so it's like this weird... Does he have super strength? Is he a Vulcan? I mean... They never explain, like, oh, Time Lords are stronger than people physically. They never do anything like that. Like, it's not like the Vulcans in Star Trek.
Okay, anyway, let's get back to something that isn't terribly disappointing. Because, I mean, I guess we've been mainly complaining about this, but I really enjoyed it. Didn't you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As I said, I think it's a great launching off place for series. It does that very well.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of didn't get into it that much earlier, so I'll just say that in terms of the Matt Smith cameo, I didn't know how I was going to feel about it because I was like, do we really need to have his shadow still looming over this new Doctor? Because usually when we get a new Doctor, they generally, I mean, with the possible exception of Tennant based on how his first story played out, we don't get Doctors regenerating with hangovers from previous Doctors. Like he still has the same companion. We're still in the middle of a particular writer's run, so it's kind of a new thing for especially for the Stephen Moffat series. So it was kind of weird in that way, because when Smith regenerated, it was his first story. It was a completely fresh start. Like it was almost like a brand new show. And I think this is, to a certain extent, I mean, it makes about as many references to Time of the Doctor as... no, that's not true at all. It makes way more references to Time of the Doctor than 11th Hour did to The End of Time.
Yeah.
But even still, it's not like the plot of this episode is like a sequel to Time of the Doctor. Not at all. I mean, the events of that aren't specifically mentioned really at all, except for the very end. But that's why I was kind of why I had reservations about it. Like that would have been like if David Tennant had showed up in the 11th Hour and saved Matt Smith or something. I don't know, but it wasn't like that at all. It was just literally this nice carryover, because it's the first time he's had a companion and would have had the opportunity to call them and be like, this is about to happen, it's going to scare the shit out of you, just fair warning.
Well, I mean, Eccleston did that Nine did that with Rose.
What do you mean?
Well, like, he's like, you know, we have this trick, it's sort of like cheating death.
He
And then I
explains-
guess she just ignored him?
He doesn't. Well, listen. If you're with the doctor and he hasn't even remotely explained to you what regeneration is, like, I don't even think they really mention it before that. I mean, it's not like there's a brief reference to it in the first episode where he looks at his face and goes, "Oh, not bad," which makes no goddamn sense whatsoever, given that he's been fucking parading around time, taking pictures of people and shit. I don't know how he hasn't seen himself.
I like
that
the
was
idea
later.
I like the idea that Chris Eccleston never had time to look at a mirror.
Yeah, and here's the
Doctor.
and actually, let me bring up something about Clara that has precants to what Ian said. She's seen all of his lives. She's seen the War Doctor. She's seen Tennant. She's even gone back, split herself into multiple timelines to save him. She even brings up, "Oh, you can change." But yet, when the Doctor regenerates into Capaldi, she freaks out and is like, "Oh, we have to change him back."
That's a little weird. I don't know why she's so.
And shouldn't she have already seen Capaldi, since that timeline in The Name of the Doctor was his entire life, like even the stuff he hadn't done yet? So shouldn't she have already been aware of the fact that Capaldi
No, because
existed?
that's when he dies on Trenzalore.
That was
that's
a different timeline.
That's right.
No, but like,
they kind of.
here's the thing. I don't think she's freaked out that he regenerated, because she knew that he'd have to when she saw, like, you know, Hartnell Smith, as Bill likes to call him. What she was freaked out by is that he was old at the start of his regeneration. Because she just saw, you gotta remember, in Time of the Doctor, from Clara's perspective, she saw the Doctor age, which no one has ever seen before.
Not really. I mean, we saw it a little bit with Tennant, but...
At least now we know that Hartnell didn't come out an old man.
Yeah. Like...
That's a terrifying image.
It's like some Benjamin Button shit, I'm telling you.
Yeah, with the Doctor, it kind of is.
I just imagine, like, that scene from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Junior, where you see Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on the baby's body, but with Hartnell. Oh, God. Somebody has to Photoshop that now.
No,
Just
but anyway.
face on a baby's
Mama.
But what I'm trying to get at
Oh.
is I think it's a bit of both of them. I think she's freaked out that he's regenerated because she hasn't been there to experience that yet. She's always very tangentially connected to everything she'd done when she saved the Doctor in Name of the Doctor. In this, like, she's not only experiencing the regeneration, which would be very shocking no matter how much preparation you have for it, but she's also, like, so shocked by the fact that he's old already. Like, I think that really throws her, because she has no context for that being something that could happen.
That's true.
Also, this is something I don't know if they've ever mentioned. Does she have memories of all the things that she did when she was scattered across his timeline? Like, does she remember all of that? Okay, so she remembers. She remembers being the Victorian Clara, and she remembers the Dalek thing. Then those aren't just like different versions of her that got created when she jumped into the thing. All right.
Oh, is that a thing they're doing now? I thought that wasn't the case, because that's going to make the next episode really interesting.
Well, no, remember she says in Day of the Doctor, she says something about that. I'm trying to remember what the line was.
Well,
no, my bad. Time of the Doctor, he says, "Don't you remember Grumpy Face?" Stuff like that. They do.
Yeah, but Grumpy Face is referring to the War Doctor.
Shit, you're right.
Also,
there's
she
a
was
line.
she was inside of his mind at the end of Name and saw all of them running around. So even if she doesn't remember saving him, she does remember the different faces running around in that, like, weird...
She would also remember it peripherally through the way he saw it, so... It's not like she still doesn't know that that's a thing. Like, remember she thought he was crazy for talking about that in Journey to the Center of the TARDIS?
I love that episode.
So, I love that episode, too.
I don't.
You don't like that episode?
It has a few good points, but it just really drops the ball at the third act.
Fuck you.
I don't know. The problem I have with it is I don't know what the fuck those spheres are supposed to be.
They're bombs.
And why the Doctor has just rooms with, like, egg sacs in them. That creeps me out.
No, you didn't get that? That's how the TARDIS makes rooms and makes itself.
Yeah, that's how the TARDIS gets bigger, and it makes other TARDISes.
Yeah, because they've explained that they grow TARDISes. They don't, like, construct...
No, I know that, but that's still creepy, though.
Because it would take forever to construct a TARDIS. It's infinite on the inside.
It's still a little weird. Anyway, I loved seeing the swimming pool and everything, though. And I also loved how she now knew his name, but then forgot it. I liked that. So, anyway, I enjoyed that episode. The one Season 7 episode, in terms of Series 7 Part 2, where I still just can't get behind it, is the Crimson Horror. Oh, what's going on?
Oh, I love the Crimson Horror. It's a great little, it's a nice little fun story.
Do you really?
Okay, the one I really detest is Nightmare in Silver, and I hate to say it because it's Neil Gaiman. He wrote the frickin' awesome.
Say what?
Deadpoolzilla just has awful opinions.
Oh, fuck you.
No, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I don't love it, but I enjoy it.
There are things in Nightmare in Silver I like Matt Smith's performance as both the Doctor and the Cyber Planner.
Warwick Davis, bro?
Warwick Davis is great.
The only thing that annoys me in Nightmare in Silver are the children.
God!
And they're barely in it.
But here's the thing that sucks.
They're not barely. Well,
that's a name.
Here's the thing with
they're in like the first 5 minutes, then they're fucking zombie robots for the rest of the episode until the very end.
And that was the saving grace of the episode.
And here's my thing with it, because it's Neil Gaiman. He really knows how to write children, and it kind of pisses me off that. And he openly admitted, this was supposed to be a two-parter, and I feel like I would have liked it better if it was if it had more time to breathe out.
I agree. My problem with it is it's not really about the Cybermen. Of course, they're the main villains, and the Cyber Planner is a part of their whole thing, but they barely speak. What exactly is going on with that whole conflict isn't really expounded upon.
Yeah, and I really wish they expanded more on, why he ran, other than, I got lazy. And, I wish they kind of touched back, because he blew up a whole galaxy.
Well, I think that's part of why he was like, I'm running away, because he just murdered billions of people.
Yeah, and I really wish, the Doctor got to get in that. That's my reason.
I think it's a planet, not a galaxy.
No, it was a galaxy.
No, because they look up in the sky, and there's a whole hole in the sky.
Okay.
The other thing, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS does not hold up. I think the ones that do hold up in Series 7 are Cold War, Name of the Doctor.
You've loved Cold War just because of the fucking ice monsters since the very beginning. Or Ice Warriors since the very beginning.
Oh, shut up. You like it too.
It's okay. It's not as good as Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
No, I like Cold War a little more than Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
I like the Ice Warriors when they're. I like the Ice Warriors when they're in their armor.
But
I agree with that. I thought that the awful CGI slug was annoying.
Yeah, but it is cool because here's the thing: whenever they bring in the Ice Warriors, they always try to do something different with them. Like when the first time they showed up in the Ice Warriors in Patrick Troughton's run, they were the bad guys. They come back, they're the good guys. You find out more about their culture, and then you don't see them for a while until now.
I love Cold War. What else was there? There was the Snowmen, which I enjoyed.
The Snowmen's hit and miss with me. The Name of the Doctor, I think, is my favorite.
I mean,
it should have been 2 parts.
Yeah, but I think
I agree with that. Yeah,
I think what sold me on it was Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman's performance.
Yeah,
and also especially Matt Smith, and it was just fun to see all those Doctors. I think another one for Series 7 for me that was really good was Dinosaurs on a Spaceship because of how fun it was.
That one I couldn't get into because I don't like when the Doctor just straight up murders people.
That was weird, especially given
the following episode is killing is wrong.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And he does it, and there's no mention of it. It would have been cool if they would have mentioned it, but they don't at all. I also love how the 11th Doctor kills the first Doctor. I thought that was funny.
Can I just get us back to the episode at hand? I love the scene where Capaldi pours him the drink. It's like, seems like a nice thing to do before killing a man. It's like, oh my god, that was awesome.
That was great. I also love the line about one of us is lying about our basic programming. I was like, oh, what does that mean, Peter Capaldi?
He pushes him out of that thing they were flying in, and he gets impaled on a...
Well, it's unclear. We don't know if he pushed him out.
He gets impaled on a building, and it's just... Oh.
Not just any building. He impaled him on Big Ben.
I was like, wow, I was like, is Stephen Moffat making a reference to the movie The Cable Guy? Because it happens at the end of that movie.
And let's not forget the skin balloon.
That was creepy, wasn't it?
That was terrifying. Did you guys think the scene? And I guess we've already talked about this because we talked about how we thought that flashback was misplaced. I thought the scene in that chamber was way too long.
What do you mean specifically? Like the interrogation, or
just the whole thing?
Are you talking about the titular deep breath?
Well, that I thought that was. Well, I thought that was drawn out in a way of like it built up the tension. So I thought that was kind of effective. But I just thought the whole scene was like, and that I think was my ultimate problem with deep breath. As much as I enjoyed it.
Sorry, I just had like the most awesome thought. Since this is Demons from Outer Space, I'm going to interrupt to voice it. So Stephen Moffat got like really popular off the whole "Don't Blink" thing, and now he's got the whole thing about "Don't Breathe." Pretty soon, he's gonna have to do an episode where it's like "Don't take a shit."
Don't take a shit. Oh god,
they're on the planet of Laxdive 5.
I would love to see the monster where that is a factor.
The poop monster, like from Dogma?
No, they're called the Laxatoids.
No. This is all unnecessary. We're bringing out.
Capaldi just like holding his ass, trying not to shit.
He's holding it in for like 5 days straight. And he's like, you got to hold in your shit, Clara. No,
Finds out he was wrong about the monster all along. They could have taken a shit, but they didn't.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't trying to make you not take a shit. I was trying to not make you piss. And it was like, oh crap, I did that plenty. There's a shit joke in the short prequel to Journey to the Center of the TARDIS where fucking Clara says to the TARDIS, "Oh, by the way, thank you for the holographic toilet." That was a fun experience. I was like, that's fucking disgusting. Because that means that Clara took a shit on the floor. Oh. Just think about what that joke means. It's fucking nasty.
The sad part is that someone listening to this was turned on by that.
What?
Someone listening to this podcast was like, I'm gonna go listen to that.
Shitting on a holographic toilet. No, we just have to bring in Gallifeces like in our Day of the Doctor review.
Call back.
Call back. Time Lord poop. It's bigger on the inside.
Bringing it back.
Time Lords do not shit. They just merely pee out of their fingers.
That was a scary... Why would you make a Scary Movie 2 reference? Wow.
Actually, that's a Scary Movie 3 reference, Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for getting my Scary Movie reference wrong. Do you forgive me, Dylan?
Sure, whatever.
Alright, oh, God, okay, so other things that we can discuss.
I think another thing I'd just like to talk about is, obviously Scary Mary Poppins.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Is the Doctor dating God?
I buy it. Well, I thought...
Maybe she's a physical representation of death. Maybe it's like the opposite of how Thanos falls in love with death. Maybe death has fallen in love with the Doctor.
Well, here's the thing that really...
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
Oh, I like that a lot, Dylan. Wow. Especially given this first episode in terms of what they're saying about regeneration, I really like... Because think about it. Well, the Doctor just cheated death on a mass scale. Time Lords aren't supposed to regenerate 13 times. And he just did. If they do what you just suggested, that'd be really cool.
Ever since Moffat took over, they've made a big deal about pointing out how much death and destruction happens everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Shit, that was in Rose, man.
And here's the other thing I want to bring up.
But they harp on it like a lot.
Well, there's a moment in the Family of Blood two-parter from season 3 where the woman that John Smith fell in love with after John Smith turns back into the Doctor, where the Doctor's like, oh, you should come with me, and she brings up the fact of like, how many people do you think would have survived if you hadn't picked this place on a whim? The Doctor's like, oh shit, he just leaves.
Here's another thing I want to bring up about this woman, Scary Mary Poppins, as I like to call her, and everyone else. She brings up a sentence that may support what Dylan's saying. She says, I like his new voice. I think I'll let him keep it.
Yeah, what does that mean? Dylan, you also had because we both, the first thing I said to you is she supposed to be River, like, regenerated or somehow, or...
She lost all her regeneration saving the Doctor in Let's Kill Hitler.
Well, apparently...
Not that stopped him this time.
Apparently the Time Lords are just handing out regeneration cycles now, so why not?
Like participation awards, like, here you go.
People have also said
here's another 12 for you.
People have been also saying that this may be the female master.
That would be interesting.
But everything I've read is like, oh, this person, like that dude who's gonna be the new companion, like, oh, he's the master. Maybe
how all powerful she is. What if she's a female Omega?
Well, the master thing would probably make more sense though, because there have been rumblings that they're bringing the master back in this season. So,
I don't think it'd work for the master because, like,
and
he doesn't love the Doctor. It's not like Batman and the Joker.
Well, here's the other thing is that they aren't bringing...
So it's not like all that slash fiction that you read online that David Tennant is made fun of, or the Master, like, fucks him.
Also, I should bring up this right now. No Davros in Series 8.
Really? I thought that was definitely him.
That was the Dalek in Into the Dalek.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, have they been playing with the voice? Because it's got that, like, kind of Emperor Palpatine quality that Davros had.
And I don't mean in the Series 8 trailer that's the full trailer. I mean like the teaser trailer, where it's just all those shots of the TARDIS exploding.
Yeah, and I was kind of brought down that, we're not getting Davros, damn it.
Oh, did Stephen Moffat be like, oh yeah, no, we're not bringing him in. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the same thing with, like, he said no to the Master, but Moffat always lies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like he says all these things and then he does them anyway. I mean, he said that he doesn't like the Master, so I really want to see him because I'm a big Master fan. So I'm dying for him to come back, and I think Peter Capaldi's Doctor would be the best Doctor to do the Master with because he's older. Again, he's got a lot of John Pertwee stuff visually in his costume, and that was the first Doctor that fought the Master. So. I really want to see it.
And the other thing is, a lot of people are saying if the Master comes back, cast Charles Dance.
Who's Charles Dance?
Tywin.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I have heard. Yeah, that'd be nice. Didn't they just bring the Master into the Paul McGann audio dramas?
They've used him actually before not only in Paul McGann's, but they've used him a lot in before. But the actor who plays the Master is someone who's played the Master before, Joffrey Beavers.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's the one with the burn-up face.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because the thing is that a few other actors who have played the Master have passed away, like the first one, Delgado, and then
he died before Pertwee even finished his run.
Yeah, he was killed in an accident at a movie shooting, and that was kind of the reason because he and Pertwee were very close friends that made Pertwee go, okay, I want to stop.
I also heard that there was a rumor that they were going to for Pertwee's finale reveal that the Master was actually his brother.
Yeah, and there's a callback to that in End of Time. No, wait.
No, in
season 2 finale, whatever it is.
Season 3 finale, the one before Last of the Time Lords.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sound of Drums. Sound of Drums.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a reference in there to that. So, anyway, Dylan, you also mentioned that she might be the Ranai.
Actually, no,
I don't-
she can't be the Ronnie at all because the BBC isn't allowed to use her.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I forgot about it. We actually had this conversation in one of the other videos, I think.
Yeah, the BBC is...
You and I?
So I've had this conversation with somebody before.
Yeah,
It wasn't me. I've never heard this before.
yeah, the owner of the...
Are you cheating on me, Dylan? No, I'm kidding.
Well, like, someone explain to me what the Ranny is, please.
She's a female
Ronnie-
Time Lord.
Yeah, what Dylan said. She's a female evil Time Lord who she's like Mr. Sinister if he was a time traveler.
That's the greatest description of anything I've ever heard.
Yeah. So they can't use her? Why? Does the person who own her just like, no, fuck you,
Well,
you
that
can't use
not
her?
only because the actress passed away, and the owner, who if I remember right, he passed away as well, so they can never sign over the rights.
Doesn't
And that's the thing. Like, a lot of Doctor Who villains are, some of them are owned by the BBC, some of them aren't. Like, you know how the Daleks have to be used every season? That's in their contract. If they do not use the Daleks even once in Doctor Who new series, they'll lose the rights to the Daleks entirely.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy. 'Cause, like, why didn't they just
Yeah.
lose the rights during that, 20-year break?
No, because they were used. Well, this didn't happen until they brought it back.
I'm sure that contract wasn't made until New Who was started.
Yeah, it must have been part of the negotiations to bring it back.
Is that in play with Sutek? Because is that why they haven't brought him back?
No, Sutek is under BBC.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, are we never going to see Sutek again?
What about,
Sutek, help me out. Who's Sutek again?
He was the villain in Pyramid of Mars.
Okay, yeah, okay.
he's like an
I am
god.
Sutek the Destroyer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just all the names kind of blur for me. It's been over a year since I watched the classic Who stuff, so...
He's got another name too, doesn't he? It's like Sutek and something else.
Sutek the Destroyer.
No, he's Seth.
Oh yeah, he's also Seth.
Oh, Satos, Satan.
But Ian, you might know him because the actor who played Sutek voiced the Great Beast in the Satan Pit.
Okay.
Oh, I've heard that. I've also heard rumors that that the Great Beast.
I've seen Pyramids of Mars. I just don't remember all the names of stuff.
Yeah, well, I've also heard rumors that like the Great Beast is supposed to be like the same species, like he's supposed to be a siren of some kind.
Yeah, they've never really said that, but the villains that the BBC own are the Cybermen, the Centaurans, the Osirans. Everyone, well, a majority, even the Master, the only ones they can't really use are the Ronnie, and they have a deal thing with the Daleks.
Right. All right, let's since I really don't have anything else to say about Deep Breath. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was great. I love Capaldi in it. I really want to see where all this stuff is going. I really want to see where all this heaven stuff plays in. Is it going to be like at the end of every story where the Doctor kills somebody that they end up there?
Yeah, is this going to be like...
What is that all about?
Is this going to be the Bad Wolf or the cracks of this season? Is it going to be this like Promised Land talk?
I assume so. That's what I'm gathering from it.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be crazy if every villain the Doctor kills in this season comes back together?
That would be cool.
A little cheesy,
And
but I can dig it.
Yeah,
Right.
the Doctor's very own Masters of Evil.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom.
Yes.
I get the same fucking...
We must find out a way to kill the Doctor.
Skeletor, what are you doing here?
What are you doing?
Wait a minute. How did...
Man!
Wait, Dylan. How did she know our plan? Solomon Grundy kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Man, I will find a way to kill the Doctor.
Skeletor, get the fuck out.
No, I am Skeletor.
When did the Doctor
All I
ever
want
visit
is a
Eternia?
decent pair of pants.
And I want to have a new face. Do you know what it's like to have a skull for a face? Do you know what it's like to try and eat? It sucks.
Well, there's no excuse because many faces is a thing in He-Man. He could get a false face if he wanted one.
But it costs so much darn money, and every penny I earn is donated to the death of He-Man.
I simply don't have the space bucks.
I simply don't have the space bucks. Because then that means I would need a space job. And it's difficult enough holding down my real job. Would you like to know what my real job is? We all know Skeletor. Kill! Oh yeah, it's still He-Man, we know.
There are not a lot of jobs out there
Let's go over the
for...
logic of this real quick. So, Skeletor spends all of his money on killing He-Man, but his job is killing He-Man?
Yeah, he has to hold it. He has to hold a telethon. It's really weird.
Who pays him?
Telethon for the death of He-Man.
Who pays him to kill?
Prince Adam performs because he doesn't know through the same person.
Because Skeletor is no longer connected to the Horde. Who is paying him to kill He-Man?
I imagine that how he makes his money is he gets ads for he like advertises stuff in the pursuit of killing He-Man.
Yeah.
Like he'll kidnap somebody, interrogate. Where is He-Man? By the way, buy this hemorrhoid cream.
Also, his overhead has got to be ridiculous because he's got like this team of like mercenaries that he has to like keep paid, and
Beastman hasn't been paid in like 5 years.
He has to like get Beastman shots every now and then. It's just there's a lot of overhead involved.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Beastman, Evelyn, and all the others are unionized.
You guys should leave the unions. That way we can work more effectively. With Skeletor, if we leave the union, we won't be able to strike. Good!
They're just standing outside Snake Mountain, kidding.
Prince Adam walks by like, what are you guys? Because that's how he talks. What are you guys doing? We're picketing Skeletor. He's unfair. We want better day wages, and we demand to not be dropped into the pit of snakes anymore.
Also, if these demands aren't met, we're gonna go work for Mum-Ra.
Also, we want dental.
You guys don't even have teeth.
Shut up, you goddamn tyrant. We want it anyway. Oh God. Oh,
that was beautiful.
What the fuck were we talking about?
You were wrapping up.
Breath.
Well, we can't wrap up yet. We still need a little bit more. We're not quite to our timestamp yet.
How'd you guys like the new opening credits?
Those were all fan made.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic.
I think I found that. You said that was a legit fan made one?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I think I found that and sent it to Bill.
Yeah, I remember this conversation.
You also know that because here's the thing, Capaldi is very much into people's fan work. You guys remember that fan made trailer by that John Smith guy on YouTube?
The rain thing. Yeah.
That guy, Capaldi found him and brought him to the set and let him watch
kidnapped him and tortured him.
Well, that's apparently Capaldi.
You used my goddamn image without asking me. You made me look old.
That's Capaldi's favorite fan-made thing. So he got the guy and he brought him on set, and he spent an entire day watching Doctor Who being shot.
Which I've heard is actually really fucking boring. Well, because you gotta watch all the takes over and over and over again. And it really gives you a lot of respect for someone like Matt Smith, who was 100% energy every time he was on screen, when you realize he did that 700 times.
And super early and super late.
I just imagine the director being like, I know you've ran down this corridor about 50 times today, but I still don't feel like we've got it.
Can you just do it one more time with a little bit more feeling?
They're like passed out on the ground. They've been running so much.
Yeah. But yeah, this one feels like, is it just me, or is especially with Capaldi stuff, have you guys noticed like a sudden increase in fan Doctor Who stuff? Like fan-made things?
I just think that's because it's become super omega popular in the past year, so we're seeing an increase in that because of that.
Especially with Capaldi. I mean, Matt Smith opened the doors, and let's say what you want, but Matt Smith's run was what made Doctor Who very popular in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think also...
Absolutely.
I think Netflix helped in a big way, too, because it got really popular it got really popular just before that, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it started a little bit. It started a little bit towards the end of David Tennant's, because that's when I started hearing like people like randomly talking about it, and I was like, "What? Really? They know about that?" But yeah, it really
Doctor Who.
It really exploded when Matt Smith took over, especially like season 6. That's like I think when it. And then
now
last year it was just like at its peak.
And
Yeah,
now it's
absolutely.
a giant thanks to Capaldi.
It is insane. I mean, they've got an after and before show now. It's like, what is it? What is this, the Super Bowl?
I saw.
Well, give Chris Hardwick credit. He has nothing to do until Talking Dead can come back.
I love Chris Hardwick. I think he's great and hysterical, and there were some very funny jokes in that. But I was like, shut the fuck up and just show me the episode.
I saw a picture of Capaldi on a tabloid in like a grocery store, and I was like, he's on an American tabloid right now talking about Doctor Who. This is crazy.
What was the American tabloid like? Oh, Clara's having his baby.
I don't know, man. I just saw the picture.
And the other thing is like what I love.
I don't read. We don't do much reading.
What I love about also Capaldi is that he is such. You can clearly see he is having fun. In fact, like little interviews, you see him still in the costume. I have this funny image in my head is like when he's walking off set, someone's like, "Take off the costume, Peter." No.
What the fuck did you just say to me, you fucking piece of shit?
Get ready for it, laddie.
Get ready for it, laddie.
He wears it everywhere. He's like one of those little kids who has like a favorite shirt that they never take off.
Actually,
yes.
Since we're talking about the popularity, Bill, you and I watched this with commercials. I don't know if Dylan and Deadpoolzilla did.
I did.
Okay. Did we all see the, like, Doctor Who Toys commercial?
Yes.
That fucked with me. I was like, because it was like a 90s toy commercial.
Oh, Bill, this is the first time you've watched it with commercials, right?
No, I saw time with commercials.
Well, they've been doing some Doctor toy commercials since like Series 5. But
I thought that was hysterical, though. Where it was like this 90s, like, go to your local toy store and pick up Doctor Who toys. The quality was shit. It was fucking beautiful.
It was those
Like,
plush ones.
the thing that got me, that, like, all of it was kind of like, okay, maybe some of it. But the one that got me that I would love if I was a kid that liked Doctor Who was, like, the little, like, tent, because I had, like, a tent, like, a little pop-up, like, nylon tent. And it was the TARDIS. I'm like, oh my god, that would be so fucking...
Oh, if I was a kid, I would have that now. Fuck you.
You wouldn't fit in it now, you tall, fat fuck.
Bill's going to be camping the next time we go to G-Fest. He won't be in the hotel. He'll be outside.
And the TARDIS, and people will, like, try and get in, and it'll be locked.
He'll be out there in his Doctor Who tent.
People be hanging out of the damn thing, and...
yeah, you wouldn't be able to lay down is the thing.
Bill, you probably wouldn't be able to stand up. It was about the size of a child. You'd have to crouch over and suck in your gut to get in the damn thing.
It would just be like his head and shoulders inside of it, and the rest of him just laying on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like I'm trying to hide under a lampshade. Like I'd just be like standing up with the TARDIS around my head.
No, you'd be half of you, your lower half would be hanging out, and then along comes the homeless guy. Oh boy, here we go. Get ready, laddie.
No, get ready, laddie is only something Peter Capaldi can say.
Maybe Peter Capaldi went to G-Fest and saw that.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's a kaiju fan.
Yeah, he's really into Godzilla and Gamera. I love that flying turtle. I don't know how
Every
the fuck he
time
knows.
someone says something that pisses off the 12th Doctor from now on, I'm just going to think in my head, get ready, laddie!
Well, Ian, remember when we were talking about a year ago now, about Peter Capaldi being cast, and we were, making jokes about how terrifying he was going to be based on those clips of him as Malcolm Tucker. And I was like, oh, they're not going to do that. He's not going to be like that. He absolutely is like that. Like, there were moments where it sounds like the Doctor wants to start throwing around the C and the F word.
When he is talking to that homeless man, that's a fucking horror movie scene. I don't care what anyone says.
It is absolutely like that.
It's really
straight out of like a psychological horror thriller movie.
There's this Michael Douglas movie where he plays like this accountant who has a mental breakdown, and he goes into this this convenience store, and he destroys the convenience store and beats up the clerk, and he has like this complete mental breakdown. That's what that reminded me of. Like, it needed the Joker's theme from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, you really... And, like, I was so ready for Capaldi... Bill, how do I say it?
Capaldi.
Yeah, Capaldi.
Like a pal, laddie.
I'm so ready for him to just stab somebody in that scene. Like, it is so the serial killer scene. But, like, at the same time, it's really uncomfortably hilarious when it's like, give me a coat! But I'm cold too, there's no use in us both being cold, so give me a coat! I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking robbing a homeless person! This is like American Psycho!
It is like American Psycho.
Now it's Scottish homicidal.
It's like Sin City and American Psycho and Doctor Who all got together in a bar and had a really disturbing baby, and that's
fucking Luther shows up. Luther and Sherlock show up to fucking figure out what killed him. That'd be a great crossover.
Yeah, the sad part is that Stephen Moffat wants a Sherlock Doctor Who crossover, but it'll never happen.
I mean, you couldn't, because Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character in the Doctor Who universe.
Oh, like that's ever stopped him before.
Well, here's the other thing, is that why can't you just do it as like a fun little Children in Need special?
That's what I'd think too. Just do it as
That's what I would do, yeah.
Have fun with it.
I don't know if you could stretch it out for very long. I mean, what would you do? Like, a fucking alien, like, rapes a prostitute, and then they both have to investigate?
Yes, Bill. That is exactly what you would do in a Children for Need Doctor Who special.
You know, just make...
Hey, man, that's what I would do.
You know what you could do is just have the TARDIS crash into Sherlock's home. That's child-friendly.
Sherlock's home, yeah.
Maybe there's, like, a dimension... Maybe there's, like, some kind of... Maybe one of those cracks is in 221 Baker Street, and that's why Sherlock is a real... Maybe that explains it. Like, maybe the crack creates this fictional character in a modern setting.
Woo!
Thus meaning that those 3 seasons of Sherlock did not really happen.
Yeah,
exactly. A lot of people would be pissed off.
I would be pissed.
I honestly think, just do it as a short, just have fun with it, don't try to explain any continuity or any shit like that. That's not why we want to see it. So
like
just do something fun.
Like, remember those 9 episodes that were spread out over, like, 6 years that you waited so long for? Yeah, they didn't happen.
That's all bullshit.
That's a worse middle finger than finding out General Hospital is nothing more than a dream sequence from an autistic kid. Oh, wait.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
That's weird. That is bizarre. That's weirder than the ending of Roseanne.
Isn't Roseanne a dream sequence or something?
No, it's her novel.
Oh.
That she's written. Because apparently Dan, like, died in some tragic accident, and in her depression, she writes a novel that's like her idealized version. It's only like the last 3 seasons that this encapsulates. It's not the whole show.
That was her idealized version?
Yeah, was those 3 seasons. Like this crappy, like, misadventures kind of thing. Where Dan, like, leaves her and goes to California and fucks around. It's like, this is your dream? But they do stuff like she wins the lottery. Anyway, it's not important. But yeah, I was gonna get into something else earlier that I completely forgot. When I was trying to wrap up on Deep Breath. Let's talk about some. I mean, we've gotten into a little bit. Let's talk about some other expectations you guys have for Series 8, stuff you want to see. So we talked about the villain. We talked about it. But what stories would you guys like to see? What villains would you like to see brought back on? We're doing it. We're getting the Dalek episode next episode. I think that's a little too soon. I mean, we just had the Daleks in Time of the Doctor.
Yeah, but
and Day of the Doctor
since Time of the Doctor almost.
Yeah, but I just rewatched it recently, so it doesn't feel that way.
On the other hand, it feels like here's something that Sylvester McCoy once said. The 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy once said, "You never really feel like you're a realized Doctor until you face the Dalek." So I figure might as well do it sooner than later.
It seems to me like these days Moffat tries to get because they are obligated to have the 1 Dalek episode per season. It seems to me like these days he tries to, like, get it out of the way early. It was like the first episode of season 7, and now it's like second episode of season 8. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we'll just throw it out there, do the Dalek episode.
Into the Dalek. What the fuck?
No, literally, I found a little bit about this story.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't.
Okay.
Let me guess. Somebody goes into a Dalek.
Really?
Someone has sex with a Dalek. That's what I'm assuming right now. And it's probably going to be the 12th Doctor.
Get ready for it, laddie!
And the Dalek's like, ejaculate.
The Doctor is ejaculating inside of me. Seek, locate, destroy. I'm right behind you, fucking you up the arse. There's no seeking or locating or destroying.
The Doctor is love. The Doctor is life.
No, that's just gonna, like, open up, and you're gonna see the fucking, like, headlamp thingies just blinking, and you're gonna hear, help, me, help me, he's raping me.
And then you hear Capaldi go, "Shut up, bitch, you love it."
No,
this is my TARDIS
Dr.
now.
Spock just appears on screen and slaps the eyepiece and goes around like 6 times.
Bad
Oh my
touch,
God.
bad touch, I need an adult.
The Doctor's dick is bigger on the inside.
No, see, that would be
There's
useful.
some benefits to regeneration, laddie.
See, a Time Lord...
Let's start some rumors about the size of Peter Capaldi's cock, like it's gigantic.
See, a Time Lord vagina is useful because it's bigger on the inside. A Time Lord
That's
cock
not useful at all. That is not.
That's not a
that
good
is not
thing.
what you want to happen.
They could
We
like
don't wanna-
store, but they could like store shit in it anyway.
Store shit in it.
But a Time Lord.
Like what? Like a sonic screwdriver? Like how Jack was storing his gun up his ass
But
and
when it comes to a
Torchwood?
Time Lord penis, being smaller on the outside is not a good thing.
Oh no, not at all.
But
I
Time
guess
Lord
you could-
condoms, however.
Oh, that's great. Those are amazing. Well, think about it. Like, if it's bigger on the inside, like they'd be coming for like 10 minutes straight without any end in sight because they're bigger on the
They
inside.
literally turn into, a geyser.
Are Time Lord
So weird.
Are Time Lord's stomachs bigger on the inside? Because they should just be starving all the time.
Right? Exactly. That's a theory.
I don't think the whole bigger on the inside thing factors over into their
I don't care.
their biology.
Their poop is bigger on the inside. Their dicks are bigger on the inside.
I saw a girl in class today. She had a shirt on that said "I heart Gallifrey." I thought that was funny.
It's funny because they have 2 hearts.
You guys get it?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's the hoose.
Sorry, just wanted to mention that.
But here's the let me just read off the episodes because I am really curious about
Just the title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just the titles. Give me a second.
Sure. Into the Dalek. We already know Capaldi's gonna rape a Dalek. That's what we know.
What if these titles wind up being like
I'm
really
going to be
specific?
very disappointed if that does not happen.
Stephen Moffat comments like, well, let me tell you about that.
Right. So here,
Well, let me tell you.
The
So
scene
here-
in which Peter Capaldi started raping the Dalek, we were all really surprised by it, and the guy inside the Dalek suit was not pleased.
This just seems to be
because the back of the Dalek was open and it was just not a good situation.
to be Capaldi's like calling card. He defeats all of his enemies by raping them.
They had to the BBC had to cover it up in order to make sure that Capaldi wouldn't be arrested, so that way he wouldn't have to regenerate again.
I mean, he didn't rape the clockwork robot, but there was penetration involved.
he was going to. That's the real reason why.
His sonic screwdriver inside of his mouth.
Well, here's the other thing: is that the real reason why the robot jumped off because he was trying to. The Doctor was trying to force himself on him.
Bend over, laddie. Stop
Ready
making
for
it
it,
hard.
laddie.
All right, so here's the episode.
You're just making it harder on yourself. You're just making me enjoy it more.
So here's the episodes. As followed. Because of course Into the Dalek, which will be written by Stephen Moffat and Phil Ford, the writer of The Waters of Mars.
Okay.
Oh.
The next episode will be called Robot of Sherwood, written by Mark Gatiss.
So it's Robin Hood,
As in-
but with the
As in Sherwood
robot.
Forest? Okay.
Written by Mark Gatiss.
Okay.
It'll be like Deadshot, but in like the olden times.
That
Following
would be like a cyborg in the Old West. Oh wait.
Oh wait, we've done that before. Shit.
Following that is Listen by Stephen Moffat.
Okay.
Of course he would have a title like that.
You cannot hear anything. What exactly?
Yes. Is it gonna be like? Maybe it'll be like Weeping Angels, but
Whatever
they
you
listen.
do, don't listen to them.
Don't, just ignore them. Their opinions will hurt your brain.
I'm telling you, Moffat's gonna keep using all the goddamn, like, involuntary physical things that we do, and he's gonna fucking run out eventually, so he's gonna have to do an episode where, like, you can't shit! You cannot shit!
No, it'll be called Pick, and it's like you can't pick. Like people who pick their noses, like something happens to them.
Clara, whatever you do, don't smell anything.
I can't control it.
Okay, so following that, after Listen, is Time Heist by Stephen Thompson and Stephen Moffat.
That is the potential to be either really awesome or really awful. I don't know why. That title list is not saying to me in the right way.
Following that is The Caretaker by Stephen Moffat and Gareth Roberts, excuse me.
Gareth Edwards!
I meant Roberts.
Will it have atomic radiation dinosaurs in it?
Will the Doctor be in 10 minutes of it?
Sorry.
But when he's on screen, it'll be great. He'll have a really good reveal. He'll come out of the water and,
And then they'll cut away the moment he's about to fight a Dalek.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it'll get down.
But no, Gareth Roberts.
Will Bryan Cranston die in the first 10 minutes?
Following that is Kill the Moon, written by Peter Harness.
I've been thinking we should do that for a long time. I think the moon has really gotten very, very rowdy.
Mr. President,
I think it's about time somebody...
Mr. President, are you suggesting that we nuke the moon?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Let me just tell you, I think that the moon possesses a real threat to the American people, so we're going to kill it.
We have to destroy the moon in order to protect ourselves from the werewolf menace?
Yeah. But, Mr. President, aren't you worried about the cataclysmic environmental reaction that will follow?
You don't understand. There's a child who turns into King Kong, okay?
The problem?
We can't have this shit.
Mr. President, have you been up all night watching DBZ again? I will not allow Saiyan Gap.
Shit! My atomic roar Godzilla just fell on me. Ow! How fucking dare you criticize my movie?
He died the way he always wanted to, crushed by Godzilla.
Godzilla tried to rape me.
This is all part of the president's anti-Saiyan plan.
He's racist only against Saiyans. Like, he's very pro, equal rights, except for Saiyans. They can fucking blow him.
Okay,
I'm just imagining Obama being like, Bigelow, he's my nigga.
Okay, so here's the next episode. Mummy.
Oh, God.
Mummy on the Orient Express.
Hoping for some Sutek.
Reference that one.
Written by Jamie Matherson, who is the head writer on Being Human.
Okay.
Dylan, you'll love that one.
Wait, the head writer of the British version that's not on anymore, or the sucky American version that's not on anymore?
The British one.
Okay.
That'd be really weird if the BBC brought on the shitty head writer of the shitty American version.
Of their show, yeah.
That'd be really weird.
Hey, we loved how you fucked up that show. Let's see what you can do with Doctor Who.
That would be like if Godzilla 2 brought on Roland Emmerich as a producer. That'd be really weird.
Following that is Flatline, also by Matherson.
Have something to do with Hearts, I guess? One of the Dr. Hearts will go out, maybe?
And then we have In the Forest of the Night, written by Frank Corletti Boyce.
That sounds really pretentious. I don't think I'll like it.
That sounds like a potential Vashta Nerada story.
And then it's a two-parter called Dark Water and Death in Heaven, written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Rachel Talala, who most of you guys would know as the director of Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Oh, great!
Good.
What a masterpiece!
Oh, good. Now Doctor will be playing with
what else has she done, to be fair to the woman?
Wait.
What's the second episode called again?
Dark Water.
The first one now.
Oh, the first episode?
The first of that two-parter.
Dark Water.
What's the second part called?
Death in Heaven.
So I wonder what that one's going to bring back.
I wonder what'll be applied
but anyway,
on that.
Here's Talala's other directorial debuts from Freddy's Dead, Ghost...
Just make fun of this poor woman for her career. That's what's about to happen. I can sense it.
Okay, Ghost in the Machine, Tank Girl...
Oh, okay.
Tank Girl.
Oh, great. Another masterpiece.
Ooh.
A Tale of Two Wives, and The Wind in the Willows.
Really? That's all she's got?
Well, she's done a lot of...
These are all movies that have been either reviewed or referenced by the Nostalgia Critic.
But she's done a lot of TV. She's done Crossing Jordan, Ally McBeal, Boston Public, Cold Case, The Division, Greek, Kyle XY, Supernatural.
Good.
Or an ABC Family, apparently.
Okay, ABC Family shows.
She did Supernatural. She did Wolf Lake. And I've been watching reruns of that. That's been okay at best.
Wolf Lake?
Yeah, Wolf Lake.
See, I guess I'm not really sure how much of an effect the director has on a television show. Like movies,
and especially Doctor Who.
Well, I don't know, Bill. One of your complaints with Deep Breath was the direction.
Yeah, but you don't know how much of that is their fault, or, hey, I can't shoot Peter Capaldi falling out of a tree because he's ancient, and I don't want to break every bone in his body.
That's really more of a just get a fucking stunt double issue as opposed to the director didn't shoot it right.
That shot, though, at the beginning, I was like, dude, that's a major rookie mistake.
Well, like,
Like
he makes
trampoline or
like
something.
3 points at which he looks at the fucking camera throughout the episode.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah,
There are some
but we need,
it gets better over time. There's some great shots towards the end, especially the way they shoot that scene in the restaurant.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
we need that sweet trailer footage.
That sweet trailer footage?
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yes.
the doctor's looking all menacing at the camera.
Well, that's different. Like, promotional stuff is different than what's actually in the episode. Like, of course they're going to look at the camera in a poster shot or even in the trailer, but in the episode it's just weird. Unless that's the point.
Yeah. But yeah, any episodes you guys are looking forward to the most out of just names?
Mummy on the Orient Express, just because it might involve Sutek. If it doesn't, I'm going to hate it.
Didn't I mention the Orient Express in some capacity in a previous episode?
Way back in, like, Classic Doctor, I want to say.
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like there was a
I don't
scene.
know, I'm just looking forward to the whole season. It's been like a year since we've had steady Doctor Who now,
Hmm.
and that
Yeah,
bothers me.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with this season is that there's going to be no break. It's going to be consecutive.
Thank God.
I'm so sick of mid-season finales, so I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, even American TV's doing it now.
It's
Yeah,
fucking annoying. Just do a
It
fucking
makes no goddamn sense.
I will prefer the return to the full season format like we had with seasons 1 through 4, and 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, 6 did it, 7 did it. Season 7 Part 2 feels like its own season.
It
I mean, it's got
really
its own
does.
fucking story.
Yeah, season 7 is basically 2 separate seasons. Honestly, they're not.
It really is.
much.
I mean, they're not connected, but they have their own story. I mean, Season 7 Part 1 is just kind of one long the farewell of death tour for Amy and Rory. Basically.
Yeah, they should have. It's basically like season 6.5. That's like the
pretty
first
much.
half of
It's pretty much. It's completely superfluous.
And
Not that they're all
episodes
bad.
are particularly good.
But it's also like, didn't Amy and Rory already have their finale?
Yeah, that's what bothers me. He gave them a fucking house. That's it. Just end it there.
Yeah, I agree. They really should have just... I mean, they did bring in Clara in the first episode, but you know what I mean, like, as the companion. But anyway.
How great would it have been if she had stayed in her Dalek body and the Doctor had a Dalek companion?
That'd be awesome!
Well, like, that was what was so disappointing about Handel's dying, goddammit.
I love that. I love the...
Keep handles.
I love the reference to that in Deep Breath, where fucking the Doctor thinks Clara is Handel.
Should have built Handle a new body. I don't care if it's like a little K9 body. Just give him a body and have him like roll around on adventures.
Yeah, can't we have K9 again? Can we bring back K9? Where is he now? Is he dead?
He's off in a parallel universe in an Australian TV show that sucks.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. He's got his own show, doesn't he?
Well, he did.
Well, it was awful, so ignore that. And bring
K9.
back K9, damn it. Just give
Yeah,
the
let's
Doctor
have
a
a-
non-human companion for a while, like long term.
How about can we get an alien companion? We
Even
haven't had
if-
that. We haven't had that since the 5th Doctor.
Even if it's not the only companion he has, even if he has a human and a non-human, it would be nice
I
to have.
want more than one companion for a while. How about that? Let's just get a whole bunch of people in there.
I mean,
Well,
we've had.
they did that, but they did with the 5th Doctor, and that kind of confused everything, and that's why they killed off Adric, and Tegan left, and then it was only him and Nyssa for.
Let's just kill everybody. Let's just have like a Shakespeare TARDIS
Let's
team
just-
where everybody's just stabbing
Let's
each other.
Kill everybody.
Let's just kill everybody in Doctor Who. Let's just stop. No, I'm kidding.
At 2, Clara.
To Clara.
Anyway, so we're about there. So anybody else have anything they wanted to say about Doctor Who?
Oh, I was so happy to see it back. I'm so glad. I missed
know.
it.
It's been a while.
Despite
It's been a while.
despite all my problems with the episode itself, I liked it. Capaldi is awesome. I love him as the Doctor, and he sold me. Clara is working on me. and I'm really excited for a new season of Doctor Who that I can watch consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Likewise.
I'm glad now that all that season 7 Clara bullshit is over. She can just be like a normal person in the TARDIS with the Doctor instead of having all this. Because they're always trying to find a way to like make the companion special. Like Amy, it was the whole crack thing, and Donna they shoehorned in the whole
Crack?
thing. Yeah, yes, Amy's crack addiction, Bill. You don't remember that? It was a huge thing.
Yeah. Say what you will, Dylan. I still think Donna's the greatest companion.
Donna.
I like.
Noble.
Oh, Donna, no. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
I like her a lot.
Yeah,
I just
did you not know who Donna was?
I like her a
No,
lot. I
dude,
just feel like what they
seriously,
did at the last minute
it's
was
like
kind
1 a.m. and I've been up since 8:30. Or 7:30, for that matter.
I went to bed at 7:30, so blow me.
So you've been... And when did you wake up?
About 2:30.
So yeah, fuck you!
Fuck you, Ian! How about that?
I
Huh?
went to bed at 7:30. That's my point, Jack!
I liked it. I thought it was great. I love Capaldi. I'm all for it. I'm all for this whole situation.
Can't wait to see what's going on with this season because it's really bugging me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see the Doctor take on Heaven. Because, like...
Yeah.
No, when you think
the
about
Doctor
it... there's
versus God.
No, when you think about it, there have been several things with, like, hell and the devil and all that stuff. And they've explained it in different ways. But I don't think we've ever gotten anything, or at least I haven't seen anything, that directly deals with, like, heaven or paradise or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, there was a third Doctor audio drama that was called The Ghosts of End Space, which the Doctor explains that heaven and hell is nothing more than little parallel universes where your atoms go to reform and remat.
That's what I've always thought it should be.
Bill's views on theology, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, well, it's also...
I always thought that made more sense.
It's also cool because the Doctor in that...
My savior is Darkwing Duck.
It's cool in that audio drama because the Doctor has a sword fight with a 20-foot demon.
Nice.
I'd have that. I'd have a sword fight with a 20-foot demon.
Oh, here's the sweet...
If you saw a 20-foot demon, you're telling me that your first response would be, I'm going to sword fight that thing.
Well, I mean, after I crap my pants, I mean...
Well, here's the thing that sweetens the deal. John Pertwee just magically creates the sword out of his imagination and sets it on fire.
That is the stupidest but awesomest thing I've ever heard.
I'm assuming that makes perfect sense in context.
Used his
It is Doctor Who.
imagination.
Well,
It is Doctor Who, Dylan. It is Doctor Who.
It's true.
It was the...
Anyway.
Just imagine the snowmen away.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Just think them away, Clara.
If you just believe.
Believe in yourself.
Imagination.
Let's wrap this up, shall we? So we've got a couple things we need to announce here on the old Demons from Outer Space.
Ian and I will be taking over.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to take an extended hiatus, and we will have bitches and hoes while these two run the show. They probably won't do things like commentary on episodes of Zaboomafoo, so don't look forward to that. That'll be really disappointing, because that's why you listen to the show.
There'll be no more Zaboomafoo in your life. I know you're all really sad about that.
I know, don't you? Well, it can be if you just tune in to PBS Kids Sprout every afternoon at 4:30, because it's on every fucking day. I shit you not.
If you require more access to the Love Lemur, just go watch it there.
Love Lemur.
Bill, I've got a PBS show you and Dylan should do commentary on.
Oh God.
It's called Word Girl.
This sounds amazing. Why have I not heard of this till now?
Is this like a stupid superhero thing?
It's half stupid, half not. It's about a superhero girl who is incredibly intelligent, fights all these villains. One of them is voiced by Tom Kenny, who is called Dr. Two Brains. Because he has.
I just want to punch that guy in the face. I don't know why, but his name just makes me want to hit him.
Trust me, you're
very violent.
I'm intrigued by the way you summed it up. So, it's half stupid and it's half not.
Just you can find.
Just the thought of it alone, just I want to punch that guy.
Well,
it's just so violent for Bill, though. Like, but Bill's usually this, like, little innocent, sweetheart kind of guy that tries to be all
Really?
edgy.
Is that how you think of me?
Yeah, I really do. But you try to be all, like, edgy and hip and stuff, but, like, I think of you as, like, a 12-year-old, because, like, you make poop and dick jokes and stuff. and so you're really just, like, this innocent little kid, and then I just want to hit that guy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Well, you can find the episodes on YouTube, a few of them, and go check it out. I want to hear you guys' commentary on that.
Yeah, well, we need some ideas for the 1-year anniversary, which is coming up in a couple months.
So there you go, Word Girl.
Do we really want to do another commentary, like, right after we just did Zabumafu?
Yeah, we're going to kind of take a break from that. We'll see what happens. Given this show, it'll probably just be another 2 hours of nonsense, so look forward to that.
Making fun of people that we'll regret making fun of later, and just...
Yeah, because they'll die or something.
Shit! Peter Capaldi's gonna die, god damn it!
He's
Ironically, he'll die balls deep.
He is pretty old, huh?
He's pretty old.
Have they at least finished filming the season?
Yeah, that'll be good. At least, like, it won't be like he died filming the first step. That would be horrible. Imagine, like,
they'll
the actor dies.
They'll have to have an off-screen regeneration before the next season, but whatever. As long as
that would suck. Like, it'd have to be Eccleston or...
Well, so much of the show is shot on green screen now, it wouldn't matter.
Right, it's true.
They could just insert Capaldi like they did with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator Salvation, and then have the digital Capaldi regenerate.
When we saw that in theaters, Nicola made fun of me for because the way I saw it was, oh god, Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Terminator movie. And it's like 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought that was great. And she just looked at it as I was getting excited over a naked man, and I was like, that's not why it's cool. It's cool. She's like, no, you're excited by naked men. Just a minute. I was like, that's not what's happening. Fuck you.
It's not the fact that it's a naked man. It's not the fact that it's a naked man. It's the fact of who that naked man is.
Exactly. Like, if it was Liam Neeson, I'd be equally excited. Maybe even a little more excited. Anyway, so announcements. Godzilla Odyssey, Issue 1, 3 Godzillas, What Could It Mean, is now live on fanfiction.net. You can get a link to it in the description here and read that bitch up. Just read it and read it again. So do us all a favor and read that in the description below, and let us know what you feel about it, because we put a lot of work into it, and it took us a while to iron it out and get it ready for public consumption. So please do us a favor and read that, and look out for more issues of Godzilla Odyssey coming in the near future. The next one, which has been written by Dylan, so look out for that coming soon. Dylan, do you want to? Should we save what he's crossing over with next? Because obviously, if they're listening to this now, they know that the first issue is our Godzilla meets the Showa version of himself.
No, let's keep that a mystery.
You wanna keep that a surprise?
We put together a trailer for that one or something.
Good. I like it. I like that thought. Sounds good to me. So read that in the description below.
Bill, are you still doing the show this week?
It'll probably have been posted by the time this goes up. But we can advertise it still. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yay, Bill is coming back to Geeky Gentlemen, and we are discussing Skyfall.
The Skyfall. The falling of the sky.
The James Bond movie?
Skyfall, the James Bond film.
Oh,
yes.
Topical.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, because Geeky Gentlemen, the show where we just reviewed Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Yeah, you're right. Totally like the most topical show ever. All the time.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes comes out. You're like, we'll review the Tim Burton one.
No, there's a review of Dawn.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I did one with Maxwell, and we used the King Louis song from the Jungle Book as the intro. I thought it was genius.
Oh, that's nice. Nice.
That's a nice touch.
Have you guys heard about Christopher Walken playing King Louis?
I don't know, but I'm if that's a thing, I'm in. Oh, Mowgli,
he can dance. Walken can dance for real.
Can I come you like a man cub? Can I do it? You're really creeping me out, King Louis.
Baloo foils his plan. He's like, this isn't over. Bear.
This is not over. Bear. Oh, Panther Thing. I don't know your name. Someone's going to call you Panther Thing. why you have such a stick up your ass? Why? What the fuck did he just say?
Oh, I heard this tiger's coming back. It's named like Shaka Khan or something. And
his name is Shaka Khan.
I had to hide this golden monkey idol up my ass.
Wait, Bill, since you obviously have the best walking impression, please say, yeah, there's this tiger, he's coming back, he's like some kind of Mortal Kombat villain or something.
Oh, so, some kind of tiger tat thing coming for us. He's some kind of villain from them Mortal Kombat interactive gaming experiences. Is coming for you, Mowgli. He's gonna kill you with his teeth and his claws.
I want Baloo. I want Baloo to be played by Shatner, and then when Shere Khan comes back, he's like, "Khan!"
Yes.
Well, Bill Murray is playing Baloo in this. Idris Elba.
Oh, that is amazing.
That's perfect, actually.
Ben Kingsley's Bagheera. Scarlett Johansson is Ka.
Here is the Panther Jaguar thing, right?
Yeah.
What isn't he, some kind of black cat?
Yeah,
Did you say Scarlett Johansson is Khan?
No, she's Ka.
Oh, Ka.
Scarlett Johansson is the fucking snake? What?
It makes sense.
Well, it's being...
The snake's a dude?
Yeah, the snake's a dude.
Oh,
How
yeah, because
was
that's the most important part of that character. I would
but-
like to hear Trust in Me sung by a woman, though. That'll be cool.
Idris Elba is Shere Khan.
That is amazing.
Fuck
I mean,
me.
oh god.
That is the most terrifying
Prepare
thing.
yourself, lad.
Shere Khan is love, Shere Khan is life.
And then the next year after that, because this movie's coming out 2015, Warner Brothers is doing a Jungle Book movie directed by Andy Serkis and Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan.
Is this going to be like when everybody...
Did Jungle Book just get into the public domain or something?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, is that... Okay, I thought this was just some bullshit like, oh, let's just do a bunch of Jungle Book movies.
Because
This is going to be like when everybody and their brother was making a Snow White movie.
Yeah, everybody and their brother.
because
Everybody and their dog was directing a Snow White picture.
Because Disney's doing the Jon Favreau one, Andy Serkis is doing the Warner Brothers one.
So wait, Andy Serkis is directing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure
Maybe he'll get a fucking Emmy or Oscar or whatever.
Well, he did.
He's gonna win an Emmy for a movie. He's gonna be really progressive.
Well, he was second unit director for the Hobbit trilogy.
For them Hobbit pictures?
Yeah.
True. The Jungle Book, directed by Andy Serkis, with Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan.
And
that's it. It's just those two just talking in crappy animal costumes. Like
You have Andy Serkis, the king of motion capture, in a costume. Sounds awful.
Shitty animal costume.
A really bad bear costume from like Party City.
Before I forget, Bill.
The Cumberbatch just has like face paint on to look like a duck.
It looks like he came out of an Android Lloyd Webber musical.
Oh.
Bill, you're gonna like this more because the actor who played Gus from Breaking Bad, he's playing Mowgli's wolf father.
Yes.
In the Jon Favreau one.
Yes.
Yeah, dude's throat in front of everybody.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So Dylan, do you have anything to announce? Because I think. Oh, wait, I have one more thing. Gamerapalooza is coming soon. I'm not sure when. I want to get into it first before I start posting them, before I have a release date set. So I'm not sure when this is going up and how far along I'll be. I'm hoping to start it sometime early in December. September. December's way far off.
Wait, we're still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We haven't said goodbye yet. Do you think I'm just going to stop it?
No, I just completely forgot. My bad.
I forgot we were doing a video.
That's why we went on a Jungle Book tirade.
Anyway, that led to that amazing moment of like Benedict Cumberbatch and Andy Serkis in costumes. Though,
Just imagine Benedict Cumberbatch in like kindergarten level face paint.
He does all like all the shit himself.
This should be the stage play version of the movie.
And then every woman in the theater would orgasm the moment he goes roar.
And that would be like the most awkward moment in history. It'd be more awkward than Shia LaBeouf slapping the ass of a male show what were they called? Those people who like whatever they're called, the people in the back of theaters who like ushers. He was doing that. He was slapping the ass of ushers as they walked by.
Why?
He was smoking weed and shit. It was weird. Anyway, so Gamerapalooza's coming soon. Look out for that. I'm very excited about it. I have the first review all set and ready to go. So I think it's going to be great. So if you enjoyed Godzilla Palooza, look out for that.
We enjoyed Godzilla Palooza, and we're disappointed at the absence of Bondapalooza. Well, here you go.
Here you go. You got Gamerapalooza now. And boy, is my review of the first movie potentially going to be controversial. So anyway, so Dylan, do you have anything to announce about a certain series you're doing?
No, not really.
What?
I think I'm good at the moment.
I think you ask him this every time.
Because, God, when is it going to happen, Dylan? Are we going to be like 50 years old when this episode of Kaiju Spotlight finally comes out?
He's not Bill.
I'm gonna have a prostate exam while we're talking about it.
This is the lost episode.
Bill, for the last time, you're not the father of Dylan's child. So stop trying to gourd him into it.
Dylan, is something you got to tell me, bro?
Are we on Moria all of a sudden? I don't understand.
Well, he's always like, "Oh, you got some big announcement." Get it?
Yeah, we're announcing our engagement.
Which is weird, because we announced getting divorced in an earlier episode of DFOS. Do you remember that, Bill?
Yeah.
It's all timey.
We're doing everything out of order. This is some Dr. River shit.
Yeah, exactly. We got divorced, then we got engaged, then we got our prostate exam. But anyway, so Ian, you've got that episode of Geeky Gentleman coming up on the Skyfalls.
Yep.
With the James Bonds and the badness.
It should be exciting. Also, go watch the 2001 Planet of the Apes review because it's just too much fun. Deadpool Zola was there. He can attest to it.
Oh,
it was so much fun. Bill, you should have been there, man. You should have been there.
Seriously.
I was probably dead.
Milan, we let Milan off the leash.
Dude,
we did that once and it turned out really bad.
Yeah, he talked about fucking monkey butlers, though. It was amazing.
There's a leash.
It's not very long or very tight. No, it's actually very long and not very tight.
Because we got to reach to Australia, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet still have enough slack missing that Ian can yank it if he needs him to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, while we were doing the fucking video, though, Deadpool Zola just types down there, can we just get a shock collar for him or something? And I thought about him no, because he'd really fucking enjoy that.
Yeah, he'd just keep going. You'd need, every single time he says something that... You'd need to burn one of his Superman comics every time he gets out of line.
Oh my god.
That would really just depress him.
That's pretty fucked up, actually.
Oh, we're trying to control him, not incite suicide.
What's the difference?
That's how you do. Okay.
I guess
well, no, not
you
the
are
whole comic, just a corner. You know what I mean?
Oh,
take a lighter. Just.
Yeah, that's better. I'm damaging.
Every time he reads that comic, he just sees a little bit of his own slavery at Ian's hand.
I'm gonna damage your property, but it's okay because I'm not damaging all of it. I'm just damaging a little piece of it. Okay.
Yeah. Bill, please end this. I gotta get to bed, man.
All right. Is that it for the announcements? I think that's it. As always, be sure to like the SOS Network homepage on Facebook for more updates, and be sure to like the Godzilla Odyssey page for updates on that series as they develop. If you want more continuous updates aside from whenever we post one of the podcasts. So look out for that as well. So until next time, I'm Bill Worster, aka Zazubaar.
I'm SuperGame64.
I am Deadpool Zola.
And I am Sid Part 2. Get ready for it, laddie.
Indeed. And as always, them Germans, they be fucked up, everybody.